before he puts the pads on, Greggy.
Yeah, no doubt. Laced with a bit of porridge, I reckon. Here we go, last over. Once again, giving it room. That's well played. He's hit that one away square. Will the Fieldsel gets to it? I don't think he will. That's very well played by Michael Bevan. Backing away again, smashing it square on the offside. It looks as if that's where he fancies himself most. There are 3 men back on the leg side, so this is what he decided to do.
He really is the best batsman in one-day cricket when it comes to scoring runs in the late overs. He finds a way to reach the boundaries. His first boundary was in that last over. Now he's managed to find a second one, and he's really got Arjuna Ranatunga thinking. He's made him change his tactics and bring an extra man across to the offside. Obviously, the original idea for Sri Lanka was to dart them in at leg stump.
And he's backed off again and tried to smash it away on the offside, but that is a better delivery right up there. Followed him a little bit.
And they're telling the man at deep mid-off, Chaminda Vas, stop the twos.
1-2, well bowled. It's away down to mid-on. Guru Singh coming in there. So what can Paul Rifle do now?
Well, they were desperate to get Rifle on strike and get Bevan away, so I think that's a tribute to Bevan himself, because Paul Rifle is no slouch with the bat, but they obviously consider him a lot easier to shut down than Michael Bevan. If they can keep it under 250, I would think Sri Lanka would have to be delighted after the early situation, because Australia appeared to be heading for something like 290 and maybe even 300 if things went really well.
It's going to go over his head. It's just bounced into this hard surface, and they've ended up settling for 1. So 2 balls to go now.
Jayasuriya just gritting his teeth there. I think he felt he was a little unlucky that that one bounced over his head. He was desperate to keep Michael Bevan away from the strike in these last 2 deliveries. And they'll be keen to just let him get a 1 off this one.
He's played a clever little shot there and well fielded. I think that is Vikramasinghe there diving away to his right. That is very well done.
Well, fortunately, he's a tall man. He was just able to dive and get an arm on it. It was very quick thinking from Michael Bevan. You could see a boundary coming up there. Whew, he just got a hand on it. Absolute desperation there from Vikramasinghe. That's a good effort.
So this is the last ball of the Australian innings. Rifle driving. They'll come back for the second. No, they won't. They're settling for 1. Arjuna's got it, and that's the end of that. So Australia 241 for 7, and I think that Arjuna Ranatunga will be very happy with that when one considers the start made by the Australians.
So Australia made 241 for 7 off their 50 overs on a pitch which certainly helped the spinners, but that was just the half of it really, because at 137 for 1 in the 27th over, they looked to be cruising to something like 270 plus. However, with Taylor and then Ponting getting out, everything changed, and these are the men that did it. The spinners, with De Silva and Jayasuriya the most involved, if not bowling then catching, and Muralitharan's figures very satisfactory and satisfying for him after all that no-balling row earlier in the year. Well, the history books will tell you that no side has ever won the Cup by batting last. After the break, we'll see if Sri Lanka could change all of that.
Jayasuriya will be facing. And Glenn McGrath has been given the new ball by Mark Taylor. Glenn McGrath had a bit of a slump in the middle of this World Cup, but he came back well in the semi-final. McGrath has picked up Kalu Witharana in Australia a couple of times after taking a hammering from him, and he did it by pitching right up there bowling him Yorkers right from the start of the innings. Fairly orthodox field to start with. They have the third man and the fine leg. Mark Taylor is at first slip, and then you have Mark Waugh in a short cover position. He's the second catching man. So nothing out of the ordinary with the field placings to start with. I guess it's a matter of Mark Taylor just waiting to see how these two play. Fine leg, and that's very well run. Jayasuriya back quickly.
Well, I know everybody is watching to see how he throws the bat at the ball, because that tends to be his style, but they score so quickly when they get in, and particularly him, that I think he can afford to just play reasonably sensibly for 2 or 3 overs, because if it's his day, he can take the game away from Australia very quickly. But I don't think there's any need to play like they did against India. Almost first couple of balls they play just slashing at
it. The Test century that he made in Adelaide seems to have made a huge difference to Jayasuriya. I think he looked upon himself as a hitter, somebody who could get you a quick 20 or 30 in the one-day game, and that seemed to be about the extent of his ambition. He played very, very well in Adelaide in a Test match. Started out aggressively, but then he had to work hard for a while, a bit more aggression. It was a very good Test century, and I think he realised that he's a much better player than he'd given himself credit for. Warren again. And it's slippery down there, and Jayasuriya takes advantage of it. Well done.
Well, that bit of a fumble by Shane Warne. He just looked when he got it in his hand that if he'd have thrown it straight over the stumps, Jayasuriya would have been struggling, but it wasn't a very good throw. He made a bit of a fumble, but then he didn't make it better with a very accurate throw. Just had to fetch it a little bit, did Ian Healy.
That's a good shot. Picked that up very quickly.
Well, it's just a short back lift, little bit of a flip with the bottom hand over the top, and the ball races away. There it is, shortish back lift, clips it, and it carries a long way, miles over mid-wicket. Super shot.
And Jayasuriya faced the first over. He got 8. Now it's Kalu Witharana's turn. Both of them were out in the first over of the semi-final against India. And I guess if you're working on percentages, and you're talking about a couple of good players here, not just a couple of hitters, if you're working on the percentages, you figure that if they've missed out, if they've both missed out last time round, there's a fair chance that one of them is going to succeed this time.
Put it this way, if I was third man, I'd be a bit nervous. It might be coming my way.
Be even more nervous if you felt that there's a bit of dew on the outfield and you know that the ball's going to be just that little bit more slippery when it gets to you at third man, and it's going to have a bit on it, Jeffrey.
I really think that he just could have an over or two. I don't think he needs to repeat what he did against India, going from the word go. He certainly doesn't want to get out. But I don't think they need to just go at it, bull at a gate, throw the bat at everything. Just pick the balls that you fancy.
That's the thing with Kalu, he fancies most of them.
Yeah, he was halfway going to have a go at that, and then he sort of changes his mind as it just swings a little bit off the pitch. Just sort of offered to go away. I think somebody like Fleming, who might swing it a bit, you just got to give yourself an over or so and see if it's going to swing from him. Because if you start to strike him on the up, where the ball sets off and then it swings, it's not going to finish up in the same place as where it set off. So you just want to see what's happening before you go whacking it over the top.
That's one that he really likes. Anything that's slightly short. Here's a run. Jayasuriya may have been caught out of his ground, but it's turned out to be a bonus for Australia, and they've got 3. Michael Bevan was quick in reacting.
Well, this is a nice little bit of luck for Sri Lanka. A mistimed shot, underside edge. Very quick feel in, half a chance. Caught somebody out. Yeah, he would have been out. That's lovely quick thinking. Just didn't hit the stumps and gave away runs. But it was worth a go, I think. An early wicket is always good to put the batting side on the back foot.
Well, Taylor has come up with some changes here in the field. No slip, a short fine leg, and he's got a short cover and a short mid-wicket of the 2 catching men. And there's a man out at deep backward square. And third man is quite wide. Oh, and he's going again. He could be dead here. Umpire Buckner is calling for the replay. He was back quickly. But gee whiz, that's taking it to the limits.
Well, it's dangerous that he ran, hoping the strength of McGrath's arm wasn't strong and wasn't accurate. A tall man, these fast bowlers have usually got good arms, and it's going to be tight whatever way. Oh. We need a better angle, I think. That's difficult for anybody to tell. But just a silly run. Oh.
Well, I've seen 1 or 2 guys hung on very flimsy evidence so far in this World Cup. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I don't see how you can give them out from head on when they're that close.
If the third umpire can give that out, then he's a brave man. If he gives it out, all Australia will be delighted.
And he has given him out. Well, I wouldn't like to be hung on that evidence. But on the other side of the coin, it wasn't a very smart run. Sri Lanka 12 for 1. Asanka Gurusinghe is the number 3 batsman for Sri Lanka. Well, it's been a lively 10 balls so far. Not quite sure what Jayasuriya was trying to prove with his running between wickets. Certainly it was fine when there was a misfield by Shane Warne. But Glenn McGrath has got a very strong arm, much stronger arm than Shane Warne, and it's not a long boundary.
They usually find in world cricket that the fast bowlers are very strong in the arm, and it's always dangerous to take them on.
And inside edge. Gurusinghe is off the mark in very fortunate circumstances.
Yeah, really good delivery there by Fleming. Ball coming back into the left-hander. Yeah, he just played outside it as well. It didn't come into him much, but just enough. Always used to the left-handers, the ball going across them. I always think when somebody like Fleming can bowl swingers into the left-handers, they can cause more problems.
Michael Bevan. And he's almost picked up a couple of run-outs, Bevan. He's very quick.
Yes, Gurusinghe, who's been run out thrice in this competition, once again having a very narrow escape.
.23 for 1, Sri Lanka, after 5 overs. Fleming to continue at the pavilion end. A bit high, that one. In the commentary position now, Ravi Shastri with Tony Gregg.
Thanks, Ian. Let's have another look at this one. He's getting a ball to swing a little bit. And that's hit him right in the tummy. Have a look at the bounce here, going for the pull shot. Didn't bounce as much as he thought.